Hi, this is Vi from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to create another flower using this Painter Quick Reference Flowers and Blossom book. I got this at my local library, and usually my local library has a section where you can go in and buy books, and I bought this for $5, and I'm really liking this book because it gives you very nice details of how to draw and create your flowers. And I've created quite a few flowers using this book. I used this one and I created that, and I think I'm going to cut that or frame it, not sure, but that's pretty nice. And then I created some Christmas flowers using these book, and I do have a video in how I created this one, and even sparkles. I really like how these came out. So I'm really liking this book, and it's teaching me how to draw. So the one that I'm going to use today is actually the one that's on the cover. I really like that. But this one was created with acrylic paint. So it does tell you what kind of medium it used. Some of them is acrylic paint, some of it's oil, like that one was oil paint, and then this one is watercolor. So it really teaches you the techniques for each one. But you can take the acrylic one, the oil one, or any of these, and you can use another medium. Instead of using acrylic, I'm going to use watercolor. The only difference is, as you know, with acrylic you can go ahead and layer colors on top, and it will paint over your background. With watercolor is a different technique because you can't really do that. You do washes and you can define and give more detail to your image, but you can't really hide things. So you have to leave the area open, or you have to draw that in ahead of time before you can paint it. So it's going to be a little modify, and I'll show you how I modify it. So let me go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with, and actually before I get started, let me show you what I'm going to use. I want to go ahead and use my Tropicals from Prima. These are my watercolor paints from Prima. I'm using some paintbrushes. I got a 10 round. I got a script liner, and this is a number 4, and I like these for my detail. And this one is from Princeton. This one is Laurel and Cornell. And then this one's another Princeton one, an 8 round. So these are the ones I'm going to use. I'm also going to be using some color pencils, and actually these are more, they act more like watercolor pencils than color pencils. These are U-brand. I got a set, a lot of color pencils for with the pouch and with the sharpener for under $5, or actually it was $5 and something cents, something like that. It was very, very, very economical, and you get 48. So I'm going to use these, and they do act like watercolors because as soon as you hit it with some water, let me show you. It does come off. Let me see if I can demo a little bit. So if you have watercolor paper and you put this here, and then you go over it with water, it moves it. And see how it kind of moves? That watercolor, or actually moves the color pencil. It almost like acts almost like watercolor. And then what I've been doing too is that you can take your color pencil and see, look at that, just like watercolor. So that's why I like these. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to create this shape, and then create the grapes and then the leaves. I'll put that aside. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the flower first. So this is our main point, so we want to go ahead and start with the drawing of the flower. Now let me put this aside. Oh, I'm going to start with this brown color, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the center. And I'm using 140-pound cold press watercolor paper, and this is Canson. And then I'm going to do the next center. Is going to be a little larger. Okay. Now I'm going to take my my watercolor, or my color pencil, my pink, and I'm going to create the petals for this one. And the petal is like, it's almost like a heart. And then this one's a little larger. It comes over like that. And then it comes over like so. So you got to create the little bent petal or whatever you want to call that. And then this one, this petal goes here. So now I'm going to start with the petal inside of the flower, this flower, the one that's in the background. Okay, and then here, I'm going to go ahead and make like a heart, but then I'm going to round that petal so that way it, see how it kind of comes in, and actually it goes over a little like that. Okay, and then the last petal will be here. Okay, so right here we're going to go ahead draw that one. And then right here, before we do this one, let's go ahead and place this right here, the grapes. So let me move this over. We want to go ahead and place our grapes before we put our petals, because our grapes are going to be the one that's going to be in the foreground. Well, actually it's going to be the main, it's going to be behind, the flower's going to be behind the grapes, so we really got to do the grapes first before we do anything else. So I'm going to pick up my green and I'm going to create the leaves of that grape. Okay, going to pick up my purple, and then I'm going to go ahead and create the grapes. Okay, and then now I'm ready to go ahead and finish my petal. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and put our leaves. So one leaf goes in here. Okay, the next leaf. Okay, and then we have another leaf. Let's see. There's a big old leaf here that goes up. There's some kind of small leaves. Right there. There's some small leaves here. And then it looks like there's a huge leaf here. And remember, it's just a guide. It doesn't have to be exactly, because I'm really not doing an exact replica of what I see. There's a little leaf here. Okay, and then there's like one small here. And then we're gonna go one small here. Okay, so that's what I got here. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the video, and I hope you like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my layers, my washes. So the first wash is usually the lighter color. And then I wet the area that I'm going to go ahead and apply some color on and let the watercolor move with the water. And so I'm going to do a base first. And then here I kind of, you want to let things dry pretty nicely before you put another layer. But because of the video, I didn't let it dry. But notice here when I try to put some details with some darker areas, it went into my leaf. But that's easy to fix. What you do is you just take another paintbrush with clear water and just scrub that darker color out like I did here. And then you go back with your detail brush, and I like to use a script liner for my detail brush or small round. And then you can just scrub that out. And then here, another technique that I like to do, even though it may not be a standard watercolor technique, I go ahead and lay down with my script liner like a darker edge on my images, and then I go over it and blend those edges in with a clear water with another brush, and it works pretty nicely for me. I do like that look. And now that things are dry a little more, I can go ahead and go over the center again with my detail brush and put a little darker center and make it more dimension. And I keep doing that. I keep putting some more layers, and now I'm ready for the grapes. So what I'm doing, I'm using my script liner to put some darker edges on my grapes, and then I'm going over it with my clear brush, my round brush with clear water, and I'm blending those edges in. So it doesn't look you don't see the edges that much. You just see a nice blend. And then now I'm putting color around my flower. I'm making sure it's nice and dry before I do the next step, which is with my color pencils. I'm giving a little more detail because I felt that I needed to put a little more details on these flowers. And these color pencils work very nice for that. Now I'm going over with a Sharpie Mean Streak. It's just a white marker. And I'm almost done with this painting. Okay, so let me bring this back and then look at my image. Oh, I forgot to put some areas around here, inside here. Okay. And I think I'm done. So let's go ahead and pull it back and see what we got. Okay, so there's my panel, and I'm going to go ahead and put a saying here, and I have another nice little card that I can give away. So I like how it came out, pretty nice. So I hope this video was inspirational, and thank you for watching. Bye now.